Sadly for them, they can't wait much longer, and they do remove it and go towards, well, sucks for you.
So
because now you actually wanted the least first pick.
What is left up? Galio or
Galio.
Xayah on the side of G2 Esports?
If Rakan is open, then Xayah might be the first pick just for that specific reason. But Galio is just such a power pick, both in LCK, in Europe, across the world. And I think if you are G2 Esports, you're kind of sitting and knowing that now, if you ban Xayah, they first pick Galio, which is a bit of a problem. Maybe you leave all of them open.
You leave all of them open?
Because then you can pick Rakan yourself with like Kalista.
That would be Galio first pick on the side of Misfits, most likely.
Sure, or the Xayah first pick, and you get Rakan, Galio.
If you get Rakan, Galio, that is insane.
See, they're leaving them all open.
The quickness into heroic entrance.
And now,
such a great combo.
So if you're Misfits, you're kind of like, okay, if we don't take Xayah, they will get Xayah Rakan. If we don't take Galio, they will get Galio. So you're like, man, this kind of sucks.
Oh. Is this Rakan Galio?
It should be Rakan Galio just to avoid the dual lane going over to Misfits, unless G2 feels so confident they can play against it. It is a combo Rocket used to beat the sub squad with in week 1. And also, we don't actually know how Mithy plays Rakan.
But do you want to give Ignar a Rakan, a playmaker?
I wouldn't do it. I would not do it against Ignar.
A front-line support that likes to get in the face.
I think this is what they should do. And I'm glad they're changing it over. Okay, so far, the teams are following us.
And what happens next?
Now it actually goes into more of a standard pick and ban phase, because now it is still things like Lee Sin that's super high priority, Kha'Zix, support-wise with Xayah, you can play so many different things. I like Blitzcrank with her. I actually think they can look to play it. Problem is, you're against the Galio again, and if you fall behind, oh, it sucks. There's the Lee Sin we just highlighted from before. There's the Blitzcrank we also just talked about. So I really like these teams.
Yeah.
You know, me and these two teams, we agree on a lot of things. And Caitlyn is really good against Xayah, so she's a fine choice here. But part of me loves watching Kalista Rakan, because I think it's so fun to watch Rakan dive in, and once he's in, you pull him back out with the Kalista, and you fire him in again. And then he can actually E or out. Yes! I don't know, this is actually getting crazy.
Okay, what happens next? Come on, Deficio, you're on such a roll. 6 for 6.
Well, let's see. So, Misfits will pinch junglers, because obviously we have not seen a jungler from G2. Galio is mid or top lane, meaning G2 can actually pinch those 2 lanes specifically. Kha'Zix I would like to see banned by Misfits, just because it was really good for Trick in the last game. And you might just pinch Trick, you know, his Graves was pretty meh. He didn't do anything in the early game. Take some of that away.
Yeah, remove that possibility. Cannon's still available, so going to take that one off the table.
That's to set up that Renekton once more for Alphari. Worked in game 1, didn't work in game 2. And I want to see for G2 Esports. Syndra already banned, Orianna already banned. There's a lot of mid laners being removed. Do they want to remove the Renekton if they feel like it could be annoying? But they have the Rumble pick against it, so I don't think they need to.
And expected so well in the previous game as in terms of all those team fights, the early Ninja Tabi got him up and running.
So if Misfits do not ban Kha'Zix now, then we should get just Kha'Zix Rumble coming for G2, and they have a really solid composition, where all the members are actually key picks for them.
Kha'Zix first if it's available, I assume, for G2?
Could definitely do that, yeah, because they already know the jungler, and just save the last pick for, of course,
expect all perks.
All perks, yes, exactly. So they banned the Rumble instead, saying we don't want to have the Rumble pick against Renekton. Kha'Zix is still a safe choice here. Or you just pick Renekton yourself for expect top lane. You say, you know what, we can also play this, but then you probably have too much physical damage, because obviously Galio's magic damage is not the greatest later on.
All right, so G2 Esports have 10 seconds to lock in their first pick in phase 2, and it's going to be the Gragas. Expecting this one more for Trick in the jungle than I would anticipate for Expect in the top lane. Although again, options to move things around.
But just give us the Renekton here for Alphari top lane, and then mid lane you just need an AP champion, but that's mainly what Ignar plays anyway. Sorry, what Power Evil plays. I still like Taliyah as a blind pick. I don't know if Power Evil agrees on the Taliyah specifically.
Victor, Ahri, Cassiopeia's banned away.
Victor,
LeBlanc is still available as well.
I don't know, Taliyah with Blitzcrank Xayah bot lane. or Renekton top lane. Like, there's so many side lanes you can then two, because there are only two side lanes. But yeah, so you
There's so many options available to you.
So many options. Come on, Power Weaver, give us that, Talia. Show us what you got.
5 seconds. There we go.
All right.
It's a great pick and ban for you, Deficio.
It's been pretty fun.
This has been a good one. And to round out G2 Esports Rumble top, or does...
Rumble is banned this time around.
Thank you very much.
So, do that.
Perks then, does he have an option to counterpick? Does expect counterpick and give Perks that Galio?
See, by me not saying anything and letting you talk, I didn't have to go for a wild guess on which role we would actually see getting locked in. Jarvan top though, that is a bit of a risky one for G2 Esports. You can camp that pretty hard as a Renekton Lee Sin and actually shut it down. And it is a lot of mixed, well, a lot of focus on physical damage on the side of G2 with a little bit of mixed damage coming in, obviously due to Galio and Gragas, but two tanks later on in the game. Misfits running so much pick potential. It's actually crazy here. If Power of Evil closes his eyes, but hovers his ulti to either top or bot lane, there's a high chance he locks down a kill for his team. Because it's either Renekton top lane with a potential Lee Sin, or it's a Blitzcrank Xayah bot lane. Because when Blitzcrank hooks in one guy, Xayah with Blade Caller can obviously lock down the guy again. So you just chain CC'd, and it's a lot of burst damage.
The dramatic music sets up the dramatic game 3. Hussein and Youngbuck shake hands for the last time today. And of course for G2 and Misfits, this is the last game of the first round robin here in Group A. Both of these teams looking to pick up a win. Go 3-1, sitting with Fnatic in terms of wins, losses. It's Misfits or G2. Jump onto Twitter, hashtag MSFWin or hashtag G2Win. The team composition on your screen, almost purely physical damage from G2 Esports. Will that come back to bite them? We'll find out as we're loading up for the deciding game here on Friday in week 3. It's G2 versus Misfits. Is that an outdated statement, Deficio?
Which one?
Physical damage threats.
I mean, a little bit with obviously. See, the crowd here, they can't spell MSF is what they're trying to say, but they say it wrong. But can't blame them. No one taught them, maybe.
No. Definitely not the smartest crowd because they can't spell correctly. Luckily, they can't hear that either.
That's good. That was actually good. Insulted the entire crowd. So,
but yes, the outdated statement.
I mean, yes, it is obviously with Jarvan and Kalista as your main damage dealers, but at the same time, armor penetration will be there for especially the Jarvan, Black Cleaver, his own Q, and there is of course magic damage on Rakan, on Gragas, on Galio as well. Yep. So there is some magic damage coming in.
Just not traditional.
The thing though to highlight is a bit like last game, Misfits composition. It's the kind of comp where when they win the early game, oh baby, you love to watch that. It's like, yeah, they're getting picks everywhere, it looks almost overpowered. But when if they fall behind, it's kind of the same issue where, oh, are you hooking, let's say, the Rakan? Well, here's a Kalista ulti, or his own E to jump out. Even his own W he can use defensively.
Yep.
And then you look at, oh, let's hook the Gragas. No, he's a tank. All right, let's hook the Galio. He's a tank. So it's like, if Misfits fall behind like last game, Ignore might feel super useless. And then the pick composition kind of falls behind. Becomes useless.
Luckily, the additional tools from Power of Evil could help out. He was on that Cassiopeia last time round. Didn't necessarily have huge ability to roam, especially after the first 10 or 12 minutes. And that Rift Herald play went so wrong. So Hunt Summon Ignore, Xayah and Blitzcrank. Xayah going up against Rakan. Some of the best dialogue if you do get to play this. They have cheeky bants all game long, Deficio.
We do love the banter.
Oh, we do indeed.
Some great banter in this game here. If you are Mithy, when you finally get to play Rakan on stage, it is one of the champions the supports are saying it's almost fun to play of the supports because you just have so much mobility. You know, you dive in with W, you jump back out with your E, you can close the gap so effectively. Zareen did his breakdown on it as well, like when he was counting. You can, within 1.5 seconds, use everything and just catch people.
It's exciting to watch. There we go. Rocket Grab comes in. The W connects onto Hansama. Where's the Blade Call onto Sven? Not yet scaled up. as Hans Summer used those double daggers and the deadly plumage. Continues to chase forward. But yes, while it's exciting to play, it's incredibly frustrating to shoutcast. Because now in the same game, we have the quickness, grand entrance, heroic entrance.
Just yell entrance.
It becomes tough. I'm just gonna yell, they enter the fight, and leave it up to interpretation.
Maybe you can do what I do when I try to play-by-play, and I just go like, ooh, ah.
Oh no, but that's very exciting, you see?
No, but I think that would be cool for you for just one fight to try. No words.
Okay, no words. This time
you
round.
wouldn't be very good at your job, though, if you didn't actually
No, I mean, it's
use any words.
It's pretty important, pretty pivotal.
I agree.
To what I need to do.
Now, what we want to see, Trevor, is Alfari getting ahead on Renekton. And oftentimes, you didn't tag team with your jungler. Last game, Alfari got ganked and died, gave away first blood. They made him pretty useless on this Renekton here. But now, Maxlore is around top side. Jarvan as a pick is not that tanky in the early game. If you actually can manage to just poke him down a little bit, then you can tower dive him with Lee Sin and Renekton.
Let's see if Alfari can. Jarvan, not like the strongest of laning phases whenever I've seen him. Definitely more impact later in the game. And on the assumption that it's an even footing, that Cataclysm is game-changing. But, much like Blitzcrank, if Jarvan falls behind, the Cataclysm is cataclysmically terrible. Often ends up losing you a whole lot. The Rocket sent their regards. Sending that theory out the window.
I will say, though, yeah, watching a 113 Jarvan yesterday take down Fnatic, that was amazing in itself.
Yes.
The Rocket win was obviously fantastic, but the fact they actually won with a 113 top laner, that was just beautiful.
I just wish that would happen in my rank.
Yeah, that never happens in your games.
No, it does not. Definitely not at the elo I'm playing in. But we've talked a lot about the engages here from Mithy. Goes in with that grand entrance. The Rocket Crab goes backwards. Everybody's shuffling around. Render's available and popped onto Hans Summer. Blade Caller puts a lot of damage onto Sven. There's a knockup
Jungle's here.
from the Rocket
here.
Fist. Teleport's coming down. Body slam into the flash. Maxwell eats it up. Teleports are completed. It's Perks. He flashes for the torch. Justice Punch comes down. First blood picked up by Maxwell. Instant reply by Perks. The fight's not over. Alfari's got a lot of spears in his face. He flashes forward to shut down Sven. 2-1 to Misfits. Maxwell and Alfari looking for expectant Perks. Mithy's still in the fight but can't offer a lot. Perks is about to go down as the shield of Duran buys a few seconds, and Maxlaw lands a sonic wave. Continues to chase under. Seismic shove, a sidestep. Look at the thread, the volley, the damage. Mithy and Expect escape with their lives.
But what an absolutely insane fight. We're like 5 minutes into it. Someone died in the crowd as well because the fight was so crazy. In the end, Misfits get 3 kills and double TP used by G2. Almost every single summoner used in the fight as well in the bottom lane. Oh man. That is so huge for Misfits now because we just talked about them not falling behind with this comp. So it's an engaged 2v2. This is standard League of Legends. Nothing is crazy yet. But then suddenly, out of nowhere, 2 junglers appear trying to join in. Maxlore definitely pulls off the better move because Trick is, I don't know what he's actually trying to achieve here by just flashing in. He's obviously trying to hit both Hansama Ignore, but he just only gets Maxlore and early TP from Alfari and Perks. Alfari dives in on Renekton with Maxlore. While, of course, the Blitzcrank dies, is the only member on the side of Misfits. But it's such a back-and-forth fight, and Hansama, beautiful dodge as well. And Expect, once you have used your combo as a Jarvan, you're just kind of running around, auto-attacking a little bit with your Lego sword. It is not super effective. And Misfits, they win the fight.
They do indeed. Great communication and play. That dodge from Hansama actually got oohs from the audience. I hope you guys can actually pick that up on microphone. And Misfits, 3 kills to 1.
Otherwise, you just told him.
Yep, I did indeed. Up 1,700 gold, and it's a BF sword for Hansama already. It's the double longsword boots.
And Maxlore early kills. Trick joins the fight by flashing in body slams onto only Maxlore. He's not doing anything else in that fight. Maxlore teams up with the Renekton and actually dives onto G2 and managed to do way more than what Trick could do on his own. Now they might look for that top lane play. Remember, Power of Evil, close his eyes, go top, go bot lane, doesn't matter. He should get a kill or a tower for his team. And he's looking towards that top lane at the moment. We'll go back and push up mid again, then maybe do it one more time.
All right, that Weaver's Wall is available to Power of Evil. Quickly look at the CS, plus 20 for Alfari in the top lane, plus 20 Power of Evil mid. pretty even between the AD carries. G2 have got a lot of deep vision in their top quadrant. Misfits, again, this is this roaming play that Official you've talked about so often. 1, 2, 3, 4 wards for Misfits, lighting up G2 side of the map. Shielded Duran comes down, wins of war, tags up Power of Evil.
Yeah, I really want to see Power of Evil get a control ward and place it in that brush where they were just fighting, because that means whenever he goes missing, just by standing in the brush, G2 needs to call, okay, care top lane, and Perk suddenly might have to start hovering towards top side as well, and maybe try and be in a position to use his ulti. And it's just so hard to play against things like Talia or Twisted Fate, you know, when you don't have full vision of them in these side lane brushes, because you never know exactly when they're moving.
All right, Deficio, lane swap initiated by G2. 8.5 minutes, Sven and Miffy, Kalista Rakan making their way up to the top lane. Misfits once again looking at Dragon.
They're going towards mid lane instead. Okay. They just walk top and then realize they don't actually want to be top lane.
What is these shenanigans?
This is what I called a missed call.
Or Maxwell, remember all of that vision, that's spotted out. Miffy decides to engage with the W and gets backed out. Manages to back out, rather, with that battle dance.
Yeah, I think G2 realized that this top lane wave was pushed all the way into the tower of Expect, so they couldn't actually use it to try and rush down the tower, and they would lose the trade for the bot lane tower. And that's why they opted out of it and said, no, let's go back bot lane. Yes, okay, we lost a bit here, but now we can at least try and play the 2v2 lane and not just give up first bot tower so quickly. So they're back down bottom lane. Trick is here with Flash. No flash on the side of Hansama, but Hansama's ulti is ready.
Yeah, the mini-map. Perks was starting to make his way down, stuck inside that banana bush by River.
Excuse you, Trick.
Trick cares not about politeness, because he's looking to kill people.
Well, he's on the way.
All right, Maxwell's here as well. Teleport's available for Alfari. Deficio. Trick has got his ultimate. Hansama and Ignor could be the target.
It's just so hard against Xayah with the ulti. If she's fast, you might actually have to go for Ignor instead, and he's an easier target. But Trick is recon because Misfits, they are respecting this. They have top lane vision before they're actually going in.
Look at that, the grand entrance, the barrel catches Hansama. Featherstone buys a few seconds and G2 pick up the kill.
And that's what you can do on Rakan. Ulti, flash, and then W. It is so fast, and you just manage to land double CC, because first you charm them and then you knock them up right after. Hansama could not react in time with his ulti, and that's why he went down.
Rocket Grab just short of Sven, but with the help of Max Lord, G2 do not take out the tower. Misfits lose their second kill, and G2 show the combination and just how powerful it can be. Here's the replay of that engage.
Okay, so look at this here. You want to ulti, then flash, and then use your Ws, because you can actually start the ulti animation and then flash right after, so you don't have to like wait for your little charge up time, and you can just instantly then W forward, so you will charm them and then you will knock them up after. Meaning that if you do not react in a split second as a Xayah, you will die like this. And obviously Hansama couldn't react in time. And I just realized that lately I've been drinking just hot water with honey because you just gave me a tea back here and I didn't realize that they didn't actually have tea in it.
Oh, I have to teach Deficio how tea works, ladies and gentlemen. This is what I have to work with. This is what I have to work with.
Thank you. Thank you. There we go. Yeah, here's the tea bag.
Oh my word.
Well, there we go. There we go.
Yeah. To bring us back on topic.
I mean, I just wanted the honey anyway.
Is now going to be under threat here, as Maxwell could set up the dive. Expect has been chunked up. This is one of the keys to a tower dive. Power of Evil's got a wall that he can put up to block Expect exit.
Hey, we talked about this.
He did indeed. There's a flash available and the flag and drag.
Yeah.
Power of Evil just shows up for a wave.
Welcome to playing Jarvan against Renekton Lee Sin.
And of course, I want to talk about some of Expect's stats in the previous game, because his Rumble was fantastic. Now he's down 30 CS. He's lost his tower. That's tower first blood to Misfits. And that Rumble performance is a long memory, because G2 are losing very heavily in this phase.
You had to bring it up, Trevor.
I did.
Drop it in his face.
I just did.
It was banned by Misfits. Good adaptation by them to then once again pick the Renekton. I actually think G2 should just pick that Renekton. We said it at Champions, been like, why don't you just pick Renekton yourself right now? And then Misfits won't really have a good answer because they already banned away the answers, so they could pick it.
There we go.
But instead, we actually got the Gragas pick, which Trick has been using.
Now, in order for this to pay off, Trick needs to have some great impact in this mid to late game. He's going to help out Dragon number 1, secured. Also, hot water for tea is very hot.
I realize.
So don't burn your finger.
I realize. But that was
G2 get Dragon, and Misfits, they managed to pick up the Rift Herald. It's actually inside Maxlaw's inventory, so he's not going to be able to ward hop. We've seen
Oh yeah, we saw Trick try that one.
Yes.
I remember it happened. I was like, wait a minute, what is he doing that for? And yeah, of course, it was actually due to him thinking it should have been.
Muscle memory, years and years of ward hopping. Well, maybe 2 years now, since it's it is becoming standard in the rocket grab. Is it on a steal away blue buff?
But it's Trevor. Oh,
oopsie.
Oh, blue buff.
Oopsie. It got bored. It was like Misfits.
And then it killed the Rift Scout line instead. That is unfair.
Well, almost did anyway. Down in the bottom lane. Look at this minion wave.
Trev, though, this game for Misfits is going to be so fun to play now because we talked about all the pick potential. You have Ignar, Moby Boots on Blitzcrank. When his team is actually winning, Alfari didn't get ganked and die early on. He's dominating the top lane against this useless Jarvan pick from Expect. And then suddenly, Misfits can actually play very aggressive on the map.
That's exactly what Misfits are setting up. There's no dragon to play around, but there are towers in mid and bottom lane. And looking at the vision, Misfits have got a lot of information to play with. The last time they had a jungle lit up like this, they were able to set up that fight and went in favor. Maxlaw has summoned the Rift Herald. She gets a pretty good charge into the tower. One more little boop with some auto attacks from Ignar and Maxlaw, and this will take down tower number 2.
Yeah, it is nice if you can, kind of keep it at 50% HP, so it gets another charge on the next tower. Obviously, it deals less damage, but it counts. Perks will get it fairly low, so obviously just a little bit of damage you get from that one.
Look at the stats in terms of Maxlaw's goal difference. Plus 352 in a game they eventually won. It was very even for very long. And minus 1,000 at 15 minutes.
If you have 2 good Lee Sin games and 1 bad Lee Sin game, then I think it's okay.
Yeah.
That is acceptable.
Especially because you only need to win 2 out of 3.
That is how best of 3 works.
In order to get the series. Now, I don't think it's quite free win, which is what Maxlaw has been feeling all day long.
That is true.
But
Game 1 was a bit of a free win. Game 2, there was a free win for G2. So I guess everyone's just handing each other free wins.
There we go. Let's see whether or not Game 3 keeps that trend up.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see if G2 can do something top lane, because now they finally made their way up here. Expect is tired of getting absolutely dumpstered in the top lane, so he's going to go get dumpstered in the bottom lane instead. And that is going to be his role for this game.
It's because he's got a tower to hide behind, you see.
Yeah, but the problem is that tower is going to bait him, and they're going to kill him under the tower.
All right, Power of Evil. He's not got involved yet. 0-0-0. The game's played around him. Those side lanes and his ability to impact, not even needed. They don't need his help. There's Maxlaw, Alfari, Unsummon, Ignar have just had a great start to this deciding game.
I actually want to see Maxlaw on bottom side right now, but obviously they only saw Expect now, and he had camps on top side he needed to kill. So we got to respect that. Jungler's got to get that time to farm as well. You can't just run around killing people left and right, because then you fall a little bit too far behind if you don't actually get any kills. Misfits are defending top lane right now, and Expect, welcome to the bottom lane. You are 2 levels down. Perks might try and do something to help him.
That tower's going to fall very soon, though. Alfari continues to focus it, but he's run out of minions.
It's so bad for G2. It's so bad for G2 that no matter where Alfari goes, that's a winning lane for Misfits. And the rest of G2 are not strong enough to then say, fine, if you win bot lane, we win the mid lane at least. They're actually very even. Talia's wave clear is more than fine to just keep Galio in the middle of the lane, and you can see Expect backing off here, just saying, you know what, this tower's not going to help me. I have to give it up, and that's now 3 turrets for Misfits.
Over 4,000 gold, Misfits are in the lead. 3 towers to 0. They've got sizable advantages on all of their carries. It's only Sven that is farming well or out-farming his opponents. And that's, of course, because Misfits fought around that lane several times.
Game's slowing down a little bit because teams are trying to now get control of one side at a time. You can't really control the entire map. You've got to pick a side. It is top jungle. Started by Maxlore and Misfits, but at this point, they actually need to go back and just kind of restock on wards and everything, because this is kind of dominated by G2. And they're not really going to get surprised.
Yeah.
Seeing as they can literally see Ignar right now on 3 different wards.
I'm going to bring us back to a story that we had in Game 1, Deficio, where we talked about the fact that as a team, Misfits needed to step up, have some better individual performances, but also play the macro well. They demonstrated they could in Game 1. They're doing it again in Game 3. And then we said, G2, more practice, more scrims, more time to get back in the groove. We could almost forgive last week's loss to Fnatic, right? Depending on your camp. If they lose this series, is this forgivable? Is this something that, as G2, the org that has remained at the top of the table for so long, acceptable?
Well, that's kind of the hard question to answer right now, because let's say G2 loses this series. We all panic. We all yell at G2, calling them the peasants of Europe all of a sudden and everything, and it's all going downhill. But then they manage to, you know, slowly but surely get back to form towards the end of the regular season. They beat every team, they go into playoffs, and they look like the best team again. And then you look kind of dumb for saying, oh, panic, you know, they're looking really bad. And that's always the thing about some of these top teams is a few weeks where they're struggling is not enough for people to start saying, oh, they're not, you know, they're not going to return to form. Yeah. Yes, we can say right now they're not playing at the same level we've seen in the past, but that's only a good thing that then some of our other teams can actually beat them. Because it just shows that these teams are trying to catch up, and if it is a 90% G2, well then Misfits, Fnatic, these kind of teams are good enough to actually take them down in best of 3s.
I'm actually really excited you mentioned that, because for Misfits, the Maxlore in for Kakao wasn't looking hopeful for the first 2 weeks. It's looking better as time goes on. Ocean Drake is the focus. Yes, Sonic Wave connects from Maxlore. Power Fist to the face of Perks. The Rend plus Smite. The Smite didn't get the kill, allows G2 to pick it up. Weaver's Wall on the back end. Where is Ignar's rocket grab? He needs to find a target. Flashed over the wall. Flash from Perks as well. Ignar's looking for somebody to catch. Gonna dash away by Mithy. Here's the grand entrance and the heroic entrance being comboed together. Fate's Call is used as well, and it is just a mayhem in the blue buff. 1, 2, 3 kills for Misfits. G2 lose a 4th.
Misfits are looking so good in this game. It all started in the bottom lane, and they're using the advantage now to get more kills. Blue buff fight, while G2 were already far down in gold. And Misfits just punished them so hard, and it's what we just talked about. Right now, we're seeing teams like Fnatic and Misfits beat G2 eSports because they are not playing at the top level, and that's obviously a thing they need to fix as fast as possible. But meanwhile, let's just enjoy the fact that Misfits and Fnatic are playing well and actually able to win some of these series.
Maxlore, 100% kill participation, and look at the setup. The Weaver's Wall closes any potential for escape from G2.
Yep, just knocks Sven back as well, and it's a long way around to this little tri-brush here if you are G2. Perks kind of stuck him to flash out, and now with the Expect saying, guys, maybe we can fight, this time around you shouldn't really believe him because he is too far down and you can't actually do anything if you're G2 eSports. You're fighting in a closed area, being super far behind in gold and unable to really get onto any carries. Obviously it was Mithy also jumping in, trying to get to the back line, but really, really hard for G2 to win a fight like this, and it's all in Misfits' advantage, all in their favor right now, and they should just close out this game.
Yeah, let's see how quickly they can do it, or how effectively they can do it. Misfits, of course, 8,000 gold up. They've got Baron. They've got the ability to make picks, and good luck G2 standing under tower while Ignar's fishing for you.
And I just love that this summer split, instead of the spring split where it was very clear who like the top team would be, and they would just win, win, win all the time, and it would actually be something a little bit boring to watch a team just always win every single series. Obviously great for G2 and their fans, but seeing some of these different results means that we have so many things to play for now in the next few weeks.
Power of Evil not even taken down, but there was no damage follow-up. Expectant Perks unable to take him out, and I agree entirely with you, Deficio.
Because I mean,
parity in our league.
It's also just with Rocket beating Fnatic yesterday, that means suddenly there's much more of a fight for third place early on in the summer split. Over in the other group as well, we have, of course, Splice playing against Unicorns next. Well, let's say Splice wins, then all of a sudden, again, you have a lot of teams able to beat each other.
Deficio, you say fight for third. I say technically fight for first. You're going to have a few teams at 3-1 that were somewhat unexpected. Looking at some performances and no clear definition, no clear tiers. Like you said, in spring, we had a clear top 3, then 4th, then 5th in both groups.
Yeah.
And that is, those lines are becoming blurry as Rocket get better, as Misfits get better, and they take games from the rest.
And while it's fun early on in the split to see some of these different results here where teams are beating each other, once we get closer towards playoffs, we want to see the top teams become the clear top teams again. Because that shows they're reaching a very high level. And that's kind of the thing, you know, with G2 last split and last year. Like, seeing a team just dominate your region at the same time also just shows how good they have been. And you also got to praise them for that.
And we got to praise Misfits. They set their one-year plan. They're looking forward. And they're coming up against toe-to-toe against G2. We started this entire series with the expectation G2 were going to win. With the expectation that Misfits were not top 3 players in their roles. And they are showing up against some of the best that Europe has to offer. So all praise to the individuals and to the teamwork on Misfits. Very well prepared against G2, and it is showing.
And I like just the adaptations from them as well. Like playing around the Renekton lane this time around, not like last game. Really punish the Jarvan pick and punish G2 for not just blind picking that Renekton on their own when they actually had the chance. And then you look at a Misfits gaming team here who's winning top, who's winning mid, who's winning bot.
Yeah.
Currently sitting with 11,000 gold lead at 24 minutes. It's turning into a storm.
I think it has been for a little while.
Maybe. I just wanted to say it. I didn't say 10 minutes ago.
No, it's
so
good.
I kind of had to say
it's
it
good.
now.
And I'm glad you did, right? Because
someone can cut that and put that little part 10 minutes ago.
The magic of editing.
It would have been great.
Yeah. I'm sure that'll make the rollout.
This is a great tea, by the way.
Yeah, because it has a tea bag in it. That's how it works. Production said we need to make a like a standalone segment, teaching Deficio how to make tea.
See, normally I do know how to make tea, but I'm so busy casting that I don't see what I'm actually drinking.
Well, that could be dangerous.
Yeah, I know. I'm waiting for the day it goes horribly wrong.
It has been because you've been drinking hot water.
With honey.
Okay.
With honey.
So 25 minutes in, and Deficio's honey water continues to brew. All right, blue buff stolen away by Ignar. Where's that patience boss? Slowly being tagged down. Secured by Hansama. Deficio, how do Misfits win this game? We know they can make picks under tower. They've got a lot of tools. Weaver's Wall, probably the easiest, safest way of knocking over objectives.
Well, we have to remember that GG are not exactly packing like a ton of wave clear on their side, so you should be able to have at least 2 lanes pushing all the way into the towers and get some damage on it. Might also be the case where you say, guys, let's get another Drake, let's wait for a Baron, take the Baron, and then use that to actually close out the game. It is acceptable. We won't flame them for it.
Not yet.
Not yet. Here, they're just padding the stats a little bit.
Yeah.
So far, they don't have a single Drake, despite being extremely far ahead in the game.
G2 were able to pick those scraps up while the game was being lost around them. They're down 6 kills, they're down 5 towers, and now they're down a Dragon. Well, they've lost that one, rather.
So, yeah. They lost the Drake.
They lost that Drake.
Yeah, they did lose that Drake. They might lose the Nexus very soon. Are they losing the title? No, because they won 3 splits.
Yep.
You have to win the split to take the title from G2.
That's correct. That is exactly how it works. The Fnatic dynasty, 5 titles. G2 beginning to catch up to that legacy, right? They got 3 in Europe, regionally been the best for going on 2 years. MSI this year showed up. And now I'm very excited at, will they do it again? It is week 3. And Hussein there on the left, coach for Misfits.
And Hiva next to him, actually. Obviously played for Origin briefly in the LCS last split, is now working with Misfits as an analyst.
And young challenger teams in Europe have had a history of growing and developing and doing well. Splice Summer Split last year, Origin the split before, admittedly not truly a challenger team. Let's not oversell
the
that.
original Origin, yeah.
Yeah.
Only had a few players who went to Worlds and won
Just a
LCS
few.
and stuff. That's
But
the
now
standard challenger team.
Misfits, this new young organization that's being jumped on. Mithy jumps in with the quickness. Grand Entrance comes down and he's forced to run away. Expect now left for dead, and then it's the Misfits. Cataclysm goes down. It's Power of Evil that picks up that kill. Sven trying to hop, skip, and jump away with that Martial Cadence passive.
Quick shot bingo right there.
Throws in Miffy, thanks to the Fate's call, and G2, they tried to make a play happen. They lose Expect in the trade, and without the wave clear, they lose their inhibitor turrets in the middle lane. Perks has flash available, but not a lot of follow-up. And Misfits easily take down the inhibitor. Few members of the crowd screaming, "Let's go, Misfits!"
We get another fight in their favor right now. Baron did spawn, so they can actually go and bait around it. All the armor stacking coming in as well, Trevor. So it is really hard for Sven to try and actually do something in fights here. It's not the protect Sven comb and go full late game and then we're gonna win. He's on a Kalista this time against armor stacking opponents on the other side. Now Baron being started. If this gets locked down by Misfits, it should be enough for them to actually win or close out the game within a few
Smite
seconds.
from Trick. He's pulled in by the rocket grab and killed before Baron is at risk of being smited. Hans Summer picks it up. Misfits take the Baron. And that has to be the final nail in the coffin, Deficio.
It's been a clean game again for Misfits, just like game one.
Deficio, you know how I love my random stats. And I know you love to hear them. I know you do.
I do love to hear them.
Thank you for all the support.
There you go.
The stats team have buzzed me with another lovely stat.
Wow, I am so excited to hear this stat.
At 25 minutes, G2 Esports were down 10,900 gold.
Wow.
That is the largest gold deficit the franchise has suffered in their LCS history. Ooh. Thank you, guys. The 4 of you that did that, you got my back.
That was a pretty good stat, though. I thought it was going to be another, like,
The largest gold deficit in LCS history. When G2 lose games, they don't get stomped this hard. That's what it means. So, Deficio, this game has turned into a stomp.
There you go. There you go. See how there's a red line through the cast and we can reuse some of the jokes? That's comedy right there.
Well, comedy's a strong word.
Yeah,
That's
probably.
synergy. I'll go with synergy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not exactly the comedy you're paying for.
No, definitely not. Well, Ignor is going to have the helping hand of Weaver's Wall. Catches a fat man. Trick gets knocked
It's
down,
too easy
knocked
to catch
back,
a Gragas,
knocked
though.
up.
It is too easy
Oh.
to pull him in. Misfits right now. They got the Baron buff we talked about. That's going to be enough. Get another inhib and G2 right now. They can only fight their way out, but you can't win any fights.
So excited for the summer split. Roccat took down Fnatic. Misfits are taking down G2. The underdogs, no more. They are contenders and challengers. Misfits are looking to squash G2 as G2 are running for their lives. Nobody has died just yet, but the Nexus turrets just might. Ignor moves forward. The turret falls with a power fist. Ignor's looking for the rocket grab. Doesn't even need it. Expect decides to engage. Puts the Cataclysm down before he's taken down. Alfari gets the kill. Miffy and Sven trying to dissuade Misfits.
They're actually defending.
Power of Evil's down. So is Max Law. Misfits just falling at this hurdle. It's a double kill for Trick, and G2 defend their Nexus for now.
For now, yes, that has been the only thing going in favor of G2 in this game. That Nexus defense they just set up. If you're Misfits, though, I don't think you care too much about that. You got 2 inhibs down, no Nexus turrets. Cloud Drake spawning, big jackpot for Misfits right now. That's why they didn't want to finish the game,
That's
Trevor.
it.
They didn't want to finish the game. We need that Cloud Drake.
Objective. They needed to secure it.
So, let's see once again. This is the 4v5 defense with 2 Nexus turrets, obviously. Sven down here, bottom of your screen, getting the Galio ulti as well. It is try and protect Sven with all we got and see if he can do something in a fight, and he actually managed to stay alive. Well played from him, but it means Misfits turn to the turrets, but because they haven't actually killed anyone other than Trick earlier, they don't have enough HP to stay around.
And just such a tough situation. I think Sven had around 12 or 13 stacks on his rend, and it did nothing to Alfari, really.
Nice knockup by Miffy as well there to make sure Misfits do not just rush for Nexus. Lucky though, again, if you're Misfits, you have basically every tower alive except for bot lane tier 1. So it's not exactly the kind of situation where G2 rushes down and then takes your inhib and you feel really bad about this rush. You're kind of like, okay, that's fine.
Yep.
We're gonna try again.
Yep. And for Misfits, just, again, just really good clean play. We were talking about this during the ad break, how crisp and good Misfits look when they are in the lead. Yes, they got smashed in game 2. There's no denying that. Their comp fell behind, and that's what their comp does when behind.
Yep.
Now, with the comp that's ahead, They land the grabs, they get the objectives. The Weaver's Wall once again, locking G2 away from this tower. Unfortunately, not a huge amount of minions to work with this time.
Let's see what happens. It's a last standing tower for G2 eSports. They're trying to maybe see if they can catch Hansama if he goes in to try and hit the tower or something. Like, you're really looking for that one guy who overextends, and then you try and engage. Trick sits with flash available. Body slam flash for him maybe. But again, it is a Xayah with ulti, so it shouldn't happen.
All right, if G2 win one more team fight, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But they need to win a team fight soon. 15,000 gold deficit.
Oh,
Trick goes for the body slam. Rocket grab pulls him back. There's the heroic entrance. Here comes Perks. Mithy jumps in with the quickness. Gets a taunt, but not enough more. Alfari now gets knocked up. The flag, the drag. The cataclysm goes down, locking Ignore in. Nobody's died yet, and the inhibitor will become the focus.
So right now, Misfits can get another inhib down. Despite not getting any kills, they're still winning out slightly on the fight because the inhibitor dies in the end. Trick tried to just body slam in and bait a potential flash to see maybe if Hansama would like use his ulti just very early. He panics, he sees the Gragas, he knows the body slam flash could happen. Obviously, no response from Hansama.
Yep.
And then suddenly it's the hook on to Trick that kind of starts the fight, but that's where Galio ulti with the damage reduction kicks in. Misfits are still happy just saying, you know what, fine.
Yep.
Okay, so we don't kill your Nexus right now, but we still control the map. There's a Baron spawning soon. They still actually didn't kill that Cloud Drake.
They didn't, but they're saving it, right? It's juicy. It gets better with time.
I guess.
Yeah, not really. I mean, technically yes, because then it gives you more benefit when you have to cross more of the map, right?
Right. Technically, though, you actually really wanted to kill it to get the Elder Drake spawning.
Of course, yes.
So you had another one coming.
Misfits' sights are more aggressive than that. They
the
want to win the
Nexus.
game before the Elder Drake is necessary.
So,
by the way, Flame Horizon, Alfari has done that to expect.
also, Alfari currently sits on 269 armor against obviously the Jarvan and the Kalista on the side of G2. You know, see Sven is trying. Last Whisper is there, but it's hard for him to really get much more.
Yep.
Importantly, though, Jarvan does bring some armor penetration, both item and, of course, his Q. It is tough, though.
Ooh, indeed. Mithy uses that blast cone to safety. And remember, this is still Misfits' game to lose, right? They are so far ahead. There should not be a way for G2 to come back. If G2 win at least one more team fight, I will give them the benefit of the doubt.
You said that already.
I know, but I'm just reminding people. Mithy's able to dodge the hook with that battle dance. Dashes away. Baron is spawning, and Misfits very clearly going to use this to pull G2 towards them.
Yeah. G2, though, only have super minions in mid lane now, which is the lane you actually want to be in. Anyway, they might go in here.
Oh, Trick goes forward. Weaver's Wall actually blocks Misfits. Oh, they're unable to chase. 35 minutes in, Seismic Shove catches onto Trick. There's the heroic entrance. Perks is on the front line. Sven's trying to get the arrows down. Alfari's taking a lot of damage. The quickness charms up too. Power of Evil takes damage. Max lost on the back end. He's got Sven. There's no more damage to back it up. Mithy gets shoved by Power of Evil. Alfari's unstoppable, and Power of Evil kills Perks.
Maxlaw finds Kalista in this team fight. That means Sven goes down. That means there's no damage left on G2 eSports. And remember, guys, they don't have any towers.
There's no towers left. Misfits are on to the Nexus. All day long, the Misfits have been feeling it. The Nexus is the focus, and Maxlaw called it. It's a free win against G2. No explanation necessary.
They had to delay it a little bit.
Why?
In the end. Just a little bit. Wanted to see if they can get another kill from the fountain, but a lot of praise for Misfits in this series here. Game 1, Game 3, they looked really, really good. I actually really respect them for sticking to the comp. That didn't work in Game 2.
Yes.
Where again, they ran the Blitzcrank and tried to go for this like snowball composition. They said, you know what, guys, the comp is not the problem. It was the call in-game. Let's try and draft the same way in the next one. We have Lee Sin, we have Renekton, we have Blitzcrank. All three the same. And this time around, they won the early fights. And we see how effective the comp then suddenly looks.
Gigantic smiles on the looks of the Misfits players. A team that had a lot of question marks around the change from Kakao to Maxlaw. But when they're ahead, they play so clean. One little thing as well. Seeing Maxwell and Perks just giving each other a hug there right at the end of the game, it makes me happy.
It's all banter. That's the thing.
Two of the louder voices, two of the guys willing to create some drama, some juiciness for us to talk about.
And Maxwell backed it up today. He definitely backed it up.
Yes, he did.
Some of these fights with him going in, finding that key target so they actually win the fight. Sven in that last one didn't even see him. He had flash and heal, everything ready, but it didn't matter because once he got kicked in, he's gone.
Maxwell saw him indeed. Maxwell kicked him, and that allowed them to close the game out. Now, let's also not overhand that final fight too much. It was still with a 15,000 gold advantage.
Yeah, but no one remembers that.
I do. I do. I try to. But what I do remember is just how clean the Misfits have played. I'm excited about the potential. I used the call when I thought the game was going to be over the first time. Underdogs no more. Now it's contenders. At this stage, at week 3. And I'm hoping that trend continues. I'm hoping that Roccat continues to develop, that Pride Stalker can figure out some of those mistakes that means he doesn't need to be Smite Stalker to win games. I'm hoping that Misfits continue to grow and this 1 year playing gets closer to be a reality. Because then teams like UOL, H2K, G2 Fnatic, if they have more competition, we have stronger teams going to China. We have stronger competitors for the title of Kings of Europe.
That's always the big thing for a region when you have some good top teams fighting each other. And then in the end, you see who is actually the very best. And you hope that is enough. Obviously, teams also will be then going straight to boot camping and get ready for Worlds. Because after MSI, like, the European fans, once again, are now used to seeing some of these teams really do well. Like, it was H2K at Worlds, top 4. We had G2, final at MSI. I'm missing a region here that didn't get that far.
I'm trying to remember.
They're not really relevant right now.
No,
so
not really.
We should just stick to the European stuff, and I think that's fine. I just want to see more from Misfits now. I want to see this next week. I don't want to see Game 2 Misfits next week suddenly losing.
I do have one small fear. I was looking forward to EU smashing NA at Rift Rivals. Now I'm seeing G2 losing. Now I'm seeing Fnatic losing.
Preparing the excuses already.
What if Phoenix 1 beat our teams? That's a story for another day. We need to celebrate Misfits. Misfits. Yep, Dunzo. Misfits, they showed up. They absolutely played well. Game 2, though, we still saw those same mistakes. And there's a little bit of like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in their play. Sometimes it's really clean. Sometimes they play like monsters.
Yeah. A lot of European teams.
I'm thinking back to those NIP games. I'm thinking back to some of the games against Roccat. So there is still a rustiness.
I mean, that's always the hardest part when you have a region where teams are now beating each other is predicting who's actually showing up on the day.
Yep.
Becomes like so hard to do, which is why we're hoping again over a few weeks we get some more stable top teams where Fnatic doesn't randomly drop games against Roccat and G2 eSports. Here, I think actually Misfits last split were pretty close when they played against G2. So I don't think it was like a huge upset by any means. I think Misfits just played much better right now, and they should get a lot of credit for that.
They absolutely played better. The whole series, great performances, and extremely excited to actually hear from a very outspoken member. Misfits Gaming showed their strength against the champions. Let's go to Dracos.